Good afternoon, YouTube. Here with another episode of Corvette Chronicles. So this time I'm going to talk about my C5 and kind of how I got from the LS1 that was cammed in it before to a cammed LS3. So I brought the car, as you've seen in my previous other videos, a cammed LS1 from a buyer. I think he was in Colorado. Installed some long tube headers, as you can see from the photos above. After that, I was really just enjoying the car, having fun with it, blasting around town. And long story short, here we get to a stretch of highway near Fort Hood when I was still in the military. I'll just get on it all by myself, wide open road, over rev it, I like bounce off the rev limiter, 6,500, 7,000 RPM. And I was like, because I just forgot to shift. I just didn't shift at the right point. Once I got out of it, the car just made this weird sound while I was idling. The car still drives fine, and it's still, no warning lights, everything was fine. So I got home, and when I got home, I lifted the hood and I was like, oh, it just threw a belt. Let me just put the belt back on there. But when I tried to put the belt back on the balancer here, it just wouldn't go on. I tried for like 30 minutes to an hour, and I was like, what the heck is going wrong? And then I realized that my balancer was like crooked, like it was halfway it was like lopsided and crooked and backed out. So I was like, oh crap, maybe something more serious is going on here. So I started the car and let it run on idle, with no accessories hooked up. So it was just plain Jane, no serpentine belt, no accessories, no AC belt at all. It was just all completely by itself. And here you can see the video. And as you can see in the video, it was making this weird sound. I mean, it's really hard to tell because it has the cam still in there, but it had some weird tapping sound. So I sent the video to my friend Corey, and he basically said, hey, you got a serious issue with your car. Bring it down here. We'll take a look at it. So me and my buddy loaded up to a trailer, and we took it down to Henderson Performance. He said that what we can do is we can either rebuild your LS1, or we can get you another engine. So I started saying, okay, let's do another engine. I mean, it's always going to cost the same. LS1, I'm going to be using used parts. Let's just go a brand new crate engine. So we started looking at a few of them. Ultimately settled with this LS3 that you see here. I had him put a cam in it, and we know the story is from there. So what happened with the LS1 is, I decided to want to disassemble it myself and try to figure out what's wrong with it. When I was trying to take the heads off, I got one head off. The second head, I could not get off. One of the bolts got rounded off, and I tried so many different tools to try to get it off. Tried heat. Well, I didn't try a blowtorch, but I tried to warm it up just a little bit, but I didn't try hard enough. I essentially got sick of it and tired of it. Put the engine back back together as much as possible, and I sold it to someone I found on eBay. He went ahead and took a complete engine tear down, rebuilt it back up, and he made about the same amount of power I had, about 360 horsepower. He also sent me a photo of what was wrong with it, what he found out. And as you can see in the photo here, is that a lifter actually failed, and was what the whole issue was and what the sound was. So after that whole debacle was over, that's what made me rub me wrong about buying modded cars from, someone you didn't know who did the work. As you can see in my other video about how to buy a C5 or C6 Corvette, is that I try to stay away from modded cars because I didn't know who put the cam in there before. I put the long tube headers in there, but I don't know about their workmanship, if they cut corners, You know, you hit the rev limiter. I mean, it is like a 21-year-old car, a 20-year-old car, so you kind of roll your dice, you know, kind of going that route. So that's how I end up having to spend about $10,000 or $11,000 on a whole brand new LS3 with a cam in it, because my LS1 took a dive on it. And if you haven't been here to the channel before, please like, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.